Hello friends, today we're going to discuss about autonomous boards which are formed under the National Medical Commission Act 2019. I am Dr. Suresh Badadmat, Professor of Psychiatry, working at National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bangalore. In this video, I'll be discussing about the 4 important boards which are formed under the National Medical Commission Act 2019. Those 4 boards are Undergraduate Medical Education Board, Postgraduate Medical Education Board, Medical Assessment and Rating Board, and finally, Ethics and Medical Registration Board. On 8th of August 2019, National Medical Commission Act was passed. This legislation has 8 chapters and 61 sections. This is how the chapterization of the National Medical Commission Act has been formed. If you look at the topmost body is National Medical Commission, which has 33 members, including the chairperson. This National Medical Commission Act body is being advised by another council called as Medical Advisory Council. In simple word, it is also called as MAC. And finally, under the National Medical Commission, there are 4 autonomous boards are formed, which are UG Board, PG Board, Medical Assessment and Rating Board, and finally, Ethics and Medical Registration Board. So these are the important boards which are formed under the National Medical Commission. If you look at the chapterization, the autonomous board comes under the Chapter 5 and from section 16 to 34 discusses about the autonomous boards. Let's look into the various autonomous boards. Those are, as I mentioned, Undergraduate Medical Education Board, Postgraduate Medical Education Board, Medical Assessment and Rating Board, and finally, Ethics and Medical Registration Board. These are the 4 boards which are formed under the National Medical Commission. Let's look into this autonomous board. Each board consists of 1 president, 2 full-time members, and 2 part-time members. All of them, that is president and full-time members, shall be having 15 years of experience from the medical background, that is, they will have MBBS and MD. And at least 7 years in those 15 years should be the leader in their field. That means 4 presidents, 2 full-time members of all the boards, the 3rd member of UG and PG board should have 15 years of experience. But however, the 3rd member of MARB and the 3rd member of Ethics and Medical Registration Board are from the different field. For the MARB board, they may be from the management, quality assurance, law, or science and technology field. For Ethics and Medical Registration Board, they may be from quality assurance, public health, law, or advocacy. And finally, the 4th member for all the boards are elected from the State Medical Commission, my dear friends. If you look at the section 19, the president and the members, apart from the part-time members, that means full-time members, autonomous board shall hold the office for a period of 4 years or for the period of or the age of 70 years. Whichever is the first, that will be considered. None of the full-time members or the president will be given extension or reappointment. That means they will serve only once in their lifetime. Part-time members of each of this autonomous board will hold the office only for a period of 2 years. Each autonomous board, except Ethics and Medical Registration Board, shall be consisted of advisory committee of experts to advise these 3 boards. However, for the Ethics and Medical Registration Board, there will be an expert ethics committee. That means there is a committee which will assist the functioning. Whereas for the other 3 boards, it will be advisory committees. That means they will advise only. Whereas for MRB board, the ethics committee can be given the power to function as it required. Section 21 talks about the experts, professionals, officers, and other employees appointed under the NMC Act will be available for all the boards. That means whoever are the experts which are there either under the four boards can be called for assisting the functioning of NMC under any of this board. Section 22 talks about board shall meet at least once a month. All decisions of the boards will be taken by voting. Any person who are aggrieved by the decision of the boards can appeal National Medical Commission within 60 days, my dear friends. So, this is how the chairperson of the National Medical Commission, Medical Advisory Council, and four boards. Now let's discuss about the Undergraduate Medical Education Board. This starts from section 24. The UG Medical Education Board have been given various powers and function. They will perform the following function. They will standardize the UG medical education. They will be giving this education based upon the competency-based dynamic UG curriculum. That means by standardization through competency-based dynamic UG curriculum for addressing the needs of the primary health services, community medicine, and family medicine. That means the UG will be focusing more on the public health issues rather than the specialization. UG board also frame guidelines for setting up of UG medical institution, that is colleges. Minimum requirements and standards for conducting courses and examination for undergraduates will be dictated by the Undergraduate Medical Education Board. Standards and norms for infrastructure, faculty, and quality of education in UG medical institution will be put forwarded by UG Medical Education Board, my dear friend. They also will facilitate development and training of faculty of the members teaching in UG institutions. They will also facilitate research and international student and faculty exchange program for UG so that the international standards can also be brought into India. Specify the norms of compulsory and annual disclosures with regard to the various institutions and the faculty will be discussed. Grant and recognition of these medical education and qualification at the undergraduate level will be done by UG Medical Educational Board, my dear friends. So now let's move into PG Medical Education Board. That is PG Board. The PG Board shall perform the following function. Standards of PG education and super specialty will be set by PG Board. Competency-based dynamic PG curriculum and super specialty will be set by PGME Board. Frame the guidelines for setting up of medical institution for imparting PG and super specialty courses. Considering the needs of the country will be an important baseline criteria. Minimum requirements and standards for conducting the course and examination for PG and super specialty will be set by PG Board. Standards, norms for infrastructure, faculty, and quality of education in PG Board or PG institution will be set by this PG Board. Facilitate development and training of faculty members teaching post-graduation. Facilitate research and international student and faculty exchange program for PGs. PG teachers will be done here. They will also specify the norms for compulsory annual disclosure, grant recognition of a medical qualification at the PG and super specialty will be done here. And they also promote, facilitate PG courses in family medicine. Again, the PG Board has been given an important agenda of starting family medicines, my dear friends. That means either they can start a course or else in all the postgraduates, family medicine syllabus or the curriculum need to be brought in here. Either way, the PG Board will dictate this. Now let's move to the Medical Assessment and Rating Board, my dear friends. The Medical Assessment and Rating Boards have been given following responsibilities. That is, to determine the procedure for assessing and rating the medical institution for the compliance with the standard laid down by the UG and PG Board. That means MAR will be monitoring of these institutions for their compliance. The MARB also will grant the permission for establishment of new medical institution for UG and PG, and also the courses and how to increase the number of seats in this UGPG will be decided by the MARB. The MARB also will be carrying out inspection of these medical institution for assessing and rating such institution. It can do by itself, or else it can authorize the third-party agencies to do this inspection for them. The institutions undergoing the assessment shall provide complete access for the inspection of this institution. If they stop, the MARB members who are doing the inspections or the third party who is assessing on behalf of MARB will be allowed to enter into the premises of this institution and give access completely to this institution. If they don't do that, they may lose their license, or they may not get the license or the permission to start the new course or the institution. They will assess and rate all the medical institution either by themselves or an independent agency. Above rating shall be made available online or in a public domain so that the students who are joining these UG and PG courses know what is the rating of this medical college. MARB also will issue warning, imposition of monetary penalty, reducing the intake or stoppage of admission, recommending the commission to withdrawal of the recognition against the medical institution for failure to maintain the minimum essential standards put forward by UG or the PG board. And finally, we will discuss about Ethics and Medical Registration Board, my dear friends. The Ethics and Medical Registration Board are dictated under the Section 27. The Ethics and Medical Registration Board shall perform following function. They will maintain the national register for all licensed medical practitioner. This will be the one-time registration for the life. They will be unique IDs. The EMRB will also regulate professional conduct and promote medical ethics. EMRB shall ensure compliance of the code of conduct of the professionals, ethical conduct through the State Medical Commission. That means EMRB at the central level will play a role. At the same time, EMRB also will discuss with the State Medical Council and how to implement the regulations of EMRB through State Medical Commission or the Council so that the professionals are regulated with regard to ethical and moral standards. Further, the EMRB also will look into have the continuous interaction with the State Medical Council to effectively promote and regulate the conduct of medical practitioner and professional. Further, EMRB will be the appellate jurisdiction with respect to action taken by State Medical Council. The doctor who is aggrieved by the State Medical Council can appeal only to the EMRB. Now let's look into the establishing medical institutions. That is, starting the new medical colleges. Permission for establishing the medical colleges will be done only through the Medical Assessment and Rating Board. No person shall start the medical colleges without the permission of MARB, my dear friend. To establish, one need to submit a scheme or a project as per the regulations formed by the MARB, my dear friends. That means no person in India can start a medical college without the permission of Medical Assessment and Rating Board. To take permission, they need to submit the project or the scheme. The MARB, that is Medical Assessment and Rating Board, shall consider the scheme or the project. Either they may approve or disapprove the scheme within the 6 months of submission. If they disapprove, an opportunity shall be given to rectify the defect. That means MARB will give an important advice that telling that these are the rectification you have to do. And one opportunity of hearing will be given. If the MARB approves, that means they can start the new medical college. If no decision is taken by the MARB or it is disapproved by the MARB telling that we will not allow the medical college, that person can apply to National Medical Commission directly now. NMC shall decide the case within 45 days of appeal. If the NMC, that is National Medical Commission, disapproves or fails to give decision, now the person can approach the central government, my dear friend. The MARB may conduct evaluation and assessment of any medical institution at any time, my dear friend. That means suo motu power also has been given to MARB. Now let's look into the criteria for approving or disapproving to start a new medical college or to increase the number of UG seats or PG seats. First and the foremost is adequate financial resources, whether there are adequate academic faculties, the teachers, and other necessary facilities, whether it is available or not as per the regulations put forward by the PG board or the UG board, whether there are adequate hospital facilities so that the practical training can be given in these hospitals. Such other factors which can be put forward by the UG board or PG board or maybe MARB itself can also play a role. And in the area of need, the criteria can be relaxed. That means, imagine in a remote area of northeastern place, or maybe in some part of North India where there are no medical colleges, in the rural area, in the tribal area, or in the hilly region, where there is a acute need of hospitals, and that is the area of need where somebody proposes to start a medical college, that will be encouraged by the MARB, and some relaxation will be given with regard to regulation, and they will be allowed and encouraged to start medical colleges in this place. Now let's discuss about the State Medical Council, which is dictated by the Section 30. The state government shall establish State Medical Council. If no such council exists, they need to pass a legislation within the 3 years of passing NMC. That means this legislation was passed in 2019. Now, all the states should have State Medical Council. Where a state council is already there because of the State Act, like Karnataka Medical Council Act is there, that will take disciplinary action against the doctors if they do unethical practice or ethical misconduct. That means the State Medical Council shall act in accordance with the regulation made by the NMC rather than the SMC with regard to ethics and medical registration, my dear friends. That means SMC need to follow the National Medical Commission's regulations with regard to ethics and medical registration board. Further, the EMRB or the SMC shall give an opportunity of hearing for the medical practitioner concerned before taking any action, including imposition of monetary penalty against such person. That means if a doctor has done something wrong, either it may be medical negligence, medical malpractice, or medical misconduct, and a complaint is lodged into the State Medical Council or into the Ethics and Medical Registration Board. In such a scenario, this EMRB or State Medical Council will give an opportunity for the doctor to be heard, and then the decision will be made. A medical practitioner or a professional who is aggrieved by the State Medical Council will approach or appeal to the EMRB board. Only the medical professionals are given opportunity under the National Medical Commission to approach the EMRB. That needs to be understood. And here the patients are not allowed to appeal to the EMRB board, my dear friend. This appears to be absurd. But however, one need to think the patient has been given an opportunity to approach State Medical Council. Once they lose the case, they cannot go anywhere else. They can go to the consumer court for the compensation. But however, if the doctor loses the case, they can appeal to the MRB, my dear friends. Suppose, even if they lose the case in EMRB, my dear friend, the practitioner has been given an opportunity to appeal National Medical Commission within 60 days. So, this is how the various autonomous boards are formed under the National Medical Commission Act. To conclude, my dear friend, the NMC Act is considered as a paradigm shift from Medical Council of India to National Medical Commission, and it has been considered as a pro-people legislation. Although health is a state subject, the NMC has formed a comprehensive legislation with a reasonable degree of freedom has been given to State Medical Council. This legislation requires time to implement, and the National Medical Commission is the one which is going to implement this legislation through 4 autonomous board and through State Medical Commission or the council. That means there is an ample opportunity has been given for the State Medical Council without impinging the power of the state with regard to health, my dear friends. This is how the National Medical Commission is formed. That is the chairperson. Including chairperson, there are 33 members. National Medical Commission is advised by Medical Advisory Council called as MAC, and there are 4 autonomous body or boards which are there under this legislation. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Stay safe.